Before we start our video, we want to state that we do not condone violence against any animals. This video is based on history and does not promote harm to any living creatures. Hey guys, welcome to the YouTube channel of Conscious History, where we will unveil the hidden truths of the past. Imagine you're a Roman legionary rowing in a warship with your brothers in arms. It's the First Punic War, and your destination is Carthage. You can't wait to crush your enemies. You've heard stories about the Carthaginian army and their war elephants, but you and your brothers are made for war. You've been drilled for combat, mastering the practices of handling the gladius, throwing the pilum, and knowing how to defend yourself with the scutum. You've been disciplined to walk in formation, and you and your brothers can march in an indestructible testudo. As the warship reaches the land, a shot of adrenaline electrifies your body. Bring it on! You and fellow soldiers walk towards the Baghdad River. You hear the rumbling sounds of the war elephants. You trust your general and your fellow soldiers, who have been hardened since the day they enrolled in the army. The sign is given to stop marching. You look at the battlefield and see the war elephants, the Carthaginian soldiers, but also some other ones you have not seen before. Muscular ones, a fearless look in their eyes, who have that same look you recognize from your training. Who are these warriors? This day is going to be bloodier and messier than what I thought. I hope I have built up enough virtue. You hear the cornu. It is time. I've sworn an oath. I fight for the legion. I fight for the eagle. I fight for Rome. In this video, we are going to look at a battle where the Romans fought the Spartans and war elephants. At the Battle of Tunis, otherwise known as the Battle of Baghdad River, the Carthaginians made a bold decision. They hired Spartan general Xanthippus and mercenaries from Sparta to train the Carthaginian soldiers the Spartan way of war. Once they learned this, they would employ the art of war against one of the most formidable armies in history, the Roman Empire's army. In this video, we will show you what happens when two of the most fearless warrior groups face each other, and why this battle led the SPQR to create one of the best armies in world history. If you enjoy our content, like and subscribe to our channel or support us at conscioushistory.backme.org and get ready for battle. The First Punic War started over the issue of control of the Sicilian town of Messana. The Romans were essentially a land-based power, and during the war had gained control of most of Sicily. The Carthaginians focused on defending their well-fortified towns and cities on the coast, so that they could be supplied and reinforced quickly. From this point, the focus of the war shifted to the sea, where the Romans had little experience. When a Carthaginian quanquereme shipwrecked on the Roman coast, they used it as a blueprint for their own ships to initiate naval warfare. The Romans won the naval battles because of the use of the corvus, a boarding device that could be dropped onto an enemy ship, essentially turning the naval battle into a land battle. After winning several naval battles, General Marcus Atilius Regulus entered the Carthaginian countryside to secure supplies for his army, given its size and needs. Regulus decided to overwinter in Africa due to the necessary provisions for his forces. His orders were to weaken the Carthaginian army and await reinforcements in the spring. Regulus, being an experienced military commander, ordered his Roman troops to carry out a night march and launch the surprise dawn attack on the enemy camp from two sides. This broke the Carthaginian army. They were confused, and most of them were defeated or fled. Regulus continued and captured numerous towns, including Tunis. After that, the Roman army raided and devastated a vast area around Carthage, causing refugees to gather together, absolutely hating the Roman general. Regulus proposed peace negotiations that would totally humiliate and dishonor Carthage. For example, their navy should have been limited to only one warship. Fueled with anger, the Carthaginians found these terms completely unacceptable and were hopelessly searching for a way to fight the Roman army. During those dark times, they found light in the form of Spartan warriors. The Spartans were a battle tribe made for warfare. The enduring challenges during the agoge made them ready to do one thing: fight in battle. For that reason, the Carthaginians recruited mercenary Spartan warriors, and one of them, named Xanthippus, would carve his name in history. Xanthippus had endured the hard times of Spartan training and knew how to both deploy and maneuver an army. Due to his skills and experience with war elephants, he made a positive impression on the troops of the Carthaginian army. Xanthippus was angered by the Carthaginian generals and their methods of training soldiers. This eventually led to the Carthaginian Senate granting Xanthippus full control of the army. Xanthippus trained the Carthaginian army to Spartan standards. Carthaginian citizens would serve in their army only in the face of a direct threat to their city. For this reason, regular citizens were also deployed in the army. Thanks to Xanthippus and other mercenary Spartans, the Carthaginians were trained with discipline and strength to form a strong phalanx formation. Alongside the powerful forest African elephants they used as a cavalry force, they were mentally and physically prepared for a fight with the Romans. Xanthippus was a mastermind when it came to warfare. At the Battle of Tunis, the Romans were lured into an open field to exploit the strengths of the cavalry and the war elephants. Over 100 elephants were sent charging at the start of the battle, effectively tying up the main force of Roman infantry. This led to a swift defeat of the Roman cavalry. When this happened, the Roman legionaries advanced, shouting and banging their swords on their shields in an attempt to scare off the elephants. A part of the Roman left overlapped the line of elephants, and they charged the citizen infantry, who broke and fled back to their camp. The rest of the Roman infantry faced difficulties fighting the elephants. Some legionaries fought their way through the line of elephants and attacked the Carthaginian phalanx. However, they noticed that this phalanx seemed much more effective and indestructible than what they had encountered on the battlefield. This was the Spartan way of fighting. The phalanx held firm, causing the Carthaginian cavalry to attack the Romans from all sides. With the Romans having to fight from all directions, their forward momentum came to a halt. The Romans held firm, possibly due to their dense formation, but the elephants continued to rampage through their ranks. This caused them to be pinned in one place where they were targeted by slings. the Romans were trapped, and Xanthippus ordered what he had learned in his Spartan training. Standing shoulder to shoulder, he commanded the phalanx to advance and attack. The Spartan-trained phalanx assaulted the trapped Roman army, resulting in total domination. 13,000 Romans were killed, while the Carthaginians lost 800 men, mostly from the civilian infantry who broke the line. This would be Carthage's only victory in a major land battle during the war. Regulars died in Carthaginian captivity. Xanthippus, the great Spartan general, and the Spartan mercenaries were envied because they had outperformed the Carthaginian generals. They took their payment and returned to Greece. This battle would showcase that the best army does not rely on being the strongest or having the most troops, but the one that relies on tactics. The Roman army learned from this battle. Just like the blueprint for rebuilding the navy, they adapted. When the Romans sent a fleet to evacuate their survivors and the Carthaginians attempted to oppose it, this led to a total domination of the Roman army. Just as the later French historian and philosopher Montesquieu wrote, the main reason the Romans became the masters of the world was that, after successfully fighting against various peoples, they always gave up their own practices as soon as they found better ones. They developed superior weapons like the gladius and warships, as well as military units such as heavy mounted cavalry and mounted archers. The Romans were more persistent and more willing to absorb and replace losses over time than their opponents. This led to the creation of one of the best armies in world history. This was the reason the Romans won the First and the Second Punic War, and many more to come. The Romans came, they saw, and they conquered. The ability to learn from their enemies, adjust, and make improvements, combined with the love and honor soldiers had for fighting for the SPQR, the Eagle, and their home, eventually created Gloria Exercitus, meaning glory of the army. Do you agree with Montesquieu that the Roman army was one of the greatest armies of all time? What did you think of the Battle of Tunis and the fact that Xanthippus charged with over 100 elephants? And what is your favorite warrior group? Leave me your answers below in the comments. And if you enjoy our content, like and subscribe to our channel or support us on conscioushistory.backme.org. We love making these videos. See you next time at Conscious History.